Would I be the asshole for reporting a doctor for indicating I was cheating? I, 27 female, am with my partner, 26 male, for 3 years. We have a great relationship, and from the day we met, we never saw or dated anybody else. I had a more fun past than my partner, but always got checked to be safe. Important context. I got myself checked right before I met my partner and was all clear. Fast forward to October just gone. I had just given birth via emergency C-section to our beautiful baby boy. This was after a failed induction, 3 sweeps, bag burst, 48 hours in labor, and a hormone drip. I was in the depths of PPD. Not only the PPD, but my surgery went wrong, causing nerve damage in my arm and not being able to use it for 8 weeks after surgery. Thankfully, the feeling is back. Where is the girl with the list? The girl with the list. Have you seen on TikTok the girl with the list of reasons why not to have kids?
Holy shit, it's all right there. Filled up the list.
Holy shit.
God damn.
Okay. Myself and our son were in the hospital for 6 days after his birth. We went home and we were scared but excited. On the 10th day of his life, I noticed his eyes were puffy and a little gloopy and decided to call the on-call doctor as it was Sunday late evening. He asked us to come down, which we did, and this is where it all went wrong. The doctor asked how old my son was. I replied 10 days. He said, "Yes, I already know what it is." Without looking at him, he gave me this really long terminology that sounded like the furniture would move if you said it out loud. He told me to look it up when I'm at home alone. I live with my partner and our son. I looked it up in the doctor's office and nearly died there and then. It basically said conjunctivitis due to chlamydia. When I tell you I looked at him like he had 17 heads, this is actually common as some form of the chlamydia doesn't show up in women. I started bawling. I said I don't have that as I was tested before my partner and I have been with nobody else. He then looked at me to say, "Are you sure?" If I wasn't crying so hard, only crying so hard because I thought I harmed my son, I genuinely would have slapped him. He looked at my partner with sympathy. I then said I did not have a vaginal birth, so how could that have happened? This specific condition that is common, bearing in mind, had to be a vaginal birth. He fobbed off what I said. He basically blamed and shamed me for absolutely nothing. We left there and I got a home test kit from the hospital, and ironically, would you believe, I was clean as was my partner. Then when we went to my child's actual pediatrician, he explained that was impossible as I had birth via C-section. He had conjunctivitis, but bacterial. I wanted to ring back and give him a piece of my mind, calling him ignorant and inconsiderate to people and new mothers who already have a lot going on. My partner said I would be a bit of an asshole if I rang back to give him a lot of stick when I can just move on, whereas I think he needs to realize he has to listen and not shame people even if this does happen, never mind if it doesn't. Would I be the asshole to actually report him to the board for his attitude?
No, I wouldn't even call him. Straight report. That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even give him that decency to call him.
Fuck to talk
That's
to
like a
you
warning.
Again? Yeah.
No, straight to the board, just like you said. Like,
I'd make a TikTok.
blindside him.
I'd make a TikTok with his name. Post his address online.
His practice.
I mean, I meant his home address, but work address. Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Home address, dude.
I was being sadistic.
Jeez. Top comment. Yes, report him, but not for his attitude. Find out what the guidelines are that govern doctors where you live, and use those to support and cite what he did wrong. A bad attitude is open to interpretation. Breaking a regulation is not. I'm very sorry this happened to you, but in my experience, things like this are better handled calmly than from a place of emotion, or you risk it being labeled as just your PPD. And no, you wouldn't be the asshole.
Yeah, also make sure you get your boyfriend or partner in on that to make sure it's not just you on the complaint form.
Yeah, that's a good point. He made a big mistake assuming.
That's such a unprofessional mistake.
Very unprofessional. Yeah, it's like he was being judgmental.
Right? I feel like for doctors, there's multiple different reasons why something couldn't be happening. You're not an accountant. 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 in doctor language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something.
It's is black and white in accounting.
It's
most of the
gray
time.
in medical.
Gray,
like
yes.
lots of different symptoms could mean this, or I could think you'd have this, or it's looking like it's this.
Yeah.
But like, you don't have anything being like absolute, except for like probably like broken bone x-rays, like would probably be the most absolute thing in a doctor's line of profession. Everything else is a diagnosis. Like, it's so unprofessional. Be like, this is it, and that's it. And it's like,
Didn't even look at him either.
didn't even look at him first. You just like, you just heard what it is, and then, yep, you cheated. Yep, chlamydia.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's a huge mistake as a doctor.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be going right
Hard.
to a
board.
thing. Yeah. Even if it wasn't like anything, like it would be like, oh, you can only get this through doing X activity. Okay, well, I didn't do X activity. Well, this is the absolute only way. And then you go get a second opinion. You're like, well, you can give me this and this and this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to report that guy. Rude.
Yeah, you're done, buddy.
You're done, bud. Why are you a doctor? This is like the pharmacist story.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
many unprofessional people in the medical field.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I
Back
guess
to me.
they're everywhere. Sorry.
I mean, unprofessional
I
people
guess they are
just
everywhere.
They're just everywhere. Bet you there's a lot of unprofessional accountants out there.
I'm sure there are.
Don't worry, your taxes are fine, and then you get audited, and where are they to defend you? They're gone.
Well, it's not on us.
It is on you.
No, it's not.
If I hire you to be my tax accountant,
Yeah, you review it.
okay. What do you mean I review it? I give you all the numbers, and I'm like, hey, here's all my stuff. Here's my business. Do my taxes for me. And then they come back, and the government audits me, and they're like, hey, you need to explain your taxes.
Okay, wait. Are we talking?
I need to go to my accountant and be like, hey.
Corporate, or are we talking personal?
Talking to anybody.
No, because there is a difference. Like, if you're doing someone's personal taxes, that's usually them giving you all of their information, all of their expenses, all their receipts, everything that they want to claim.
Okay.
So, if like I've had it in when I worked in public accounting, where like people would say like, yes, I want to claim this, and it's like, okay, this like it's not going to be approved.
Okay.
That's on them. That's not on us.
So when the government comes and audits my accountant, I can't even get a hold of them for them to say, hey, I warned you about that piece. How do I know what the government is going through the audit? If it's the one thing that I said, hey, put it through, or if it's something else that the accountant
They tell you
put
what
somewhere
it is.
else.
They tell you what the change is.
And you're like, I have no idea. I need to speak to my accountant because I don't know why they did that. And the accountant is nowhere to be found. You got to be able to find the accountant. The accountant's got to be like, hey, I warned my customer about this.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I could be wrong, but my understanding when working in public accounting was like we were not liable.
I feel like there might be a difference between like liable and like, hey, like you should be like helping me.
Well, yeah, that's literally our job.
Like I paid you to do my taxes.
Yeah.
Did I not pay for you to like give some assistance for when I get audited? Did I not pay for you to be available to charge me more when I get audited?
Yes.
Okay.
But still, like, you are personally responsible for your own taxes.
Yeah, but I can, if you mess up my tax, if I pay you to do my taxes, I get audited, the government says you owe this, and it's a mistake of the accounting firm. Is it not your responsibility because you did it wrong?
If it's a mistake of the accounting firm, like, they're not the ones like having to pay anything.
No, I have to pay it.
Yeah.
Because of your mistake.
Yes.
I want to sue you now because you didn't do your job properly.
I don't know if you could do that. Like, maybe.
I would think so. I would think if I pay you to do my taxes correctly and you mess it up and I get charged, I'm going to sue you for that difference.
Let's Googly.
I feel like that would make sense. That's like business practice.
Can I sue my accountant for messing up my taxes? If your accountant has made an error resulting in financial harm to you or your business, you may have a claim for accounting malpractice.
Malpractice, like malpractice insurance. Like if I go in for surgery and I come out with a leg missing when I'm supposed to get a rod inserted because my doctor messed it up, I'm going to sue the hospital. If my lawyer gives information to the other side of the courtroom, I'm going to sue my lawyer for malpractice. Isn't that why you have malpractice insurance? Like, isn't that the whole point of being like a certified accountant, a chartered professional accountant or something? So I can sue your ass when you fuck it up?
I don't know. Accounting here, it is very common for accounting firms to have a disclaimer about owning for... Oh, never mind.
Like, I can understand if the accounting firm is like, hey, we don't recommend that you try to write off that personal Ferrari you bought as a business expense. And you're like, no. Put the numbers in and they do it.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if you just gave them everything and they were supposed to do it proper, and now the government's like, hey, we're auditing you. You messed this up. I'm going back to my account and being like, why am I getting audited?
Yeah. That's fair.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was an unnecessary roundabout, Teresa.
I'm willing to admit if I'm wrong.
After 5 minutes.
Well,
And a
I had to do some
Google
research.
search.